Here's some more news direct from the people at Sports Collectors Daily. I keep asking some of you people out there to please give them a look-see, and hopefully we can get some of the people at Sports Collectors Daily to do these, their stories in video format as well. And it could be a nice little source of income for them too, if they set up a nice channel with regular video updates. Because they are on top of the news. If you go to their category here, Sports Memorabilia Industry News, the latest news from BGS is that submissions are up. And what does it say here? So are counterfeit attempts. Okay. Now it says here, sports card counterfeiters are getting more sophisticated according to one grading company, which have seen business continue to increase, but also more attempts to slip one past their loops and into a holder. Mark Anderson of Beckett Grading Services kicked off the first day of the industry summit by telling several dozen card shop owners that the company has observed as printing tools available to scammers become more sophisticated. Now here, what you have here is a magnifying loupe, which is what jewelers use and authenticators use when they, or let's put it this way, what authenticators are supposed to use when they look at a card. Because what I keep telling you is when you take one of these counterfeit cards and magnify it, you could tell that many of them are counterfeit just by looking through one of these little devices here. Any kind of magnification, a really good magnifying glass will do the trick too, some of the time. Any kind of magnification, you could look in there, you could see the method by which these cards were printed. Now, counterfeit cards these days are printed with laser printers, and they're not laser printing. If you look at something that's been printed by a laser printer and then an old baseball card and magnify it yourself, you'll clearly see the difference. And if you own a sports card shop, you need some kind of loupe like this, some kind of magnifying device, a jeweler's loupe, some people call it. Any kind of magnifying device. Somebody brings in an old card, you have to look through this, plus you have to learn. It's not that difficult. You could tell, just giving it a quick peek. It only takes seconds per card. That's why more grading companies should be doing this. And like I said, that's how I found graded cards, counterfeit cards that have been graded, just by looking through a device like this. And what does Beckett even say? That the counterfeit attempts are up because more people are getting into this. They're submitting lots of cards. There's thousands of them right now on eBay, thousands of them for sale at all the other auction sites. A lot of these auction people, these auction companies even, they don't even check the cards themselves, which they should, to see if it's a counterfeit or not. A lot of these signed pictures of Babe Ruth, who died long before they had, the printing technology they have now. A lot of this stuff is printed by a computer, which didn't exist in Ty Cobb's day, Babe Ruth's day, Joe DiMaggio's day, all the great baseball players, football players that have passed, doesn't matter what the sport is. All of these counterfeit pictures are being printed by computer, which didn't exist in the time of these great players, but yet people are bringing this stuff in to get authenticated, and they're trying to sell it as real, when it's obviously not. It's clearly not. And all it takes, like I told you, is 1 second looking through a magnification, and you could tell if it's printed recently or it was printed a long time ago. And then it says, right, let me continue reading here. Anderson displayed a small loupe used by the company's graders and told the attendees that they don't usually use it for grading, but rather to answer a common question about the card that can't be seen by the naked eye. On vintage cards, they're looking for things like a recolored border on a 1971 Topps card, or whether an effort has been made to conceal a crease by spooning, which can smooth it out, but usually leaves evidence. So there's other reasons for using these loupes in addition to determining if it's been a counterfeit or not. Which, like they just said, they don't use it that much, which they should be. Especially when the same scammer keeps submitting fake cards to them to grade. If the same guy keeps submitting counterfeit cards, why do they continue doing business with them? Like I've said in video after video, why do these companies continue doing business with scammers? Kevin Burge is one of the biggest counterfeiters out there, supposedly responsible for all the Topps Rookie Premier counterfeits out there. all the thousands upon thousands of them out there. eBay has listings of hundreds upon hundreds of them every day. I mean, he's singularly responsible for it, but yet he has, you know, contracts with PSA and JSA to get these cards graded. And they know who he is, and they continue to do business with him. Why? His cards are obviously counterfeit, and I've developed my own test, which I call the field test, and I've explained it plenty of times. I told the companies, you know, JSA, PSA, Beckett, it takes less than a second. You can tell if the card's real or not just by doing a field test. You can do it blindfolded. You don't even have to look at the card to tell if it's legit or not. And yet they refuse to do anything about it. Enough from my editorial, but let's continue here with what Sports Collectors Daily says. And like I said, please check it out. You can find this news on there yourself, and, you know, give it a read for yourself if you want to know more. And stay informed. You know, give them a shout out, and, you know, mention them in your own videos, if you will, and so they can get a little bit more business as well. So they won't have to take all this business from all these scam auction sites that advertise all over here. Some of them are not that legitimate, believe it or not. And like I've shown you, they're no good. But they need the money, so that's why they accept the business. And it says here, the high prices being paid for modern cards, however, are inviting unscrupulous sellers to go to great lengths to try and recreate a Tom Brady rookie. Printing technology has improved so much in recent years that duplicating the gold foil stamping present on many cards is something current artists aren't scared to try. Like I keep showing you, a lot of these gold foiled cards now, I said it 2 years ago that I noticed. How did I know those cards were fake? I said because they were being sold by the scammers. That's how I determine 90% of the time if a card is counterfeit or not, is when I see 3 different scammers selling the same exact card, which nobody else seems to have available. Only the scammers sell these cards. Like all the Muhammad Ali, Cassius Clay counterfeits that are out there. Oh, they're all legitimate. They got the little stamp on there. You could tell they're real. No, they're all counterfeit. It's on eBay. It's counterfeit. Why? How do I know that? Because only the scammers have them. They sell other counterfeit cards. The counterfeiters are making them. They're copying them. Now, like you see here, they're the gold foil cards like they showed for some of these Tom Brady, the gold foiled ones. There's actually that one card, I forgot which card it was, there has the like a little gold foil flag on the card. I don't recall which one it is now. I apologize. But like I said, this stuff is... It gives me a headache, and I've been doing this all day. I made a couple of PSAs already. Who knows if I'll ever get these uploaded. And then let's go continue. Counterfeiters are now very aggressive, Anderson said. Any card is susceptible. One technique being used involves taking a common player autograph on a sticker, erasing the Sharpie signature, faking a superstar's autograph, and placing that sticker on a card of that star player who has indeed signed cards for that product. Beckett Grading says it will often catch those attempts because the ink that's been erased tends to adhere to the edges of the phony sticker. Anderson encouraged shop owners to utilize a loupe to look at higher value cards they may be offered. Cards that are created, I like how they put that here, created in quotes, often show small dots around a logo or name from the home printing process or fading around the edging of the words. Like I said, these are not professional printers themselves, so there's a lot of tells where you can determine if a card's been counterfeited or not. And I've done videos about that before if you're interested. The most commonly counterfeited card is the 1986-87 Fleer Michael Jordan rookie card, Anderson explained. His office receives as many as 5 fake Jordan rookies each day. Anderson also encouraged shop owners not to place high-value autographed rookie cards under fluorescent lighting. Over time, the signature will fade. I've mentioned that before, over a year ago in a video. He showed one example of a 2001 Albert Pujols Bowman Chrome, where the original signature had faded and the owner tried to retrace it with dismal results. And I did a video about that too, actually. BGS has partnered with James Spence Authentication to have signed cards authenticated. Now, the reason why they chose James Spence is because he's a lot cheaper than PSA. And he's also a lot worse than PSA. Fake patches on relic cards are also a problem. We send scans to the card company every day and ask, did you use this patch? Anderson said some of the higher quality logo patches that are submitted, scammers will often try to substitute a higher quality patch they purchased from a retail type jersey from the one that was originally in the card. Patches are usually placed inside the back of a card before the top goes on. Look at the top of the window on the card. That's often where you will see if it has been lifted to put in another patch, Anderson said. While spotting fake cards is a big part of business for a grading company, Anderson said, a positive sign for the hobby is that more collectors are submitting what he called collector quality cards worth less than $5 that may be thought as of not worthy of being placed into a holder simply because they want to. We've never been busier, he said. And the reason why he's busier is because all these scammers are submitting all their cards. But then again, like I said, just be aware of this news and tell other collectors about it, if you will. Make your own videos and let's get the word out. Thanks again for watching. Thanks for rating. And thanks for sharing. Dream big, dream bigger, because sometimes the small dreams are not worth having.